Welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. I'm Zach,
Cruz,
Jake, and we're fucking Pocket Watch Podcast.
Yes, sir. Laugh at us or learn with us. We're here to grow.
And growing, we're fucking doing, man. Welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. I'm Zach,
Cruz,
Jake,
and Kevin. What up?
Hey, I know y'all heard the switch up.
Specific.
407.
Mr. 407 Kev.
Yeah, Mr. 407 Kev.
Mr. 407 Kev. Kevin Deane, fucking great comic. Follow him on social media. You know who this is. You shared this to me. You shared his clips to me. If you don't know, if you don't know him from stand up, if you don't know him from Afro TV, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know him from that, if you don't know him from some of the podcasts he's been on recently, this is Kevin Deane, the comic. If you don't know him from his shows, I want to talk about some of that. Orlando Improv, whatever, like all over the place working. You probably just see it in his face with some iPhone AirPods, not even AirPods, bro. Yo, shout out to Kev. I just realized. All right, anyways, you're making like fucking use of like old technology.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Everybody's out here with AirPods trying to fucking
the retro gear,
and they missed it.
Yeah, they missed the opportunity,
bro. They missed their mark.
I ain't no broke bitch. I mean, I keep a pair of AirPods.
Bro, no.
I got the AirPods too.
Isn't that funny? But that's
I
mic.
also have the AirPods.
But
I'm not using.
All right,
the pods.
yeah. And explaining Central Florida, like everybody listening from Orlando or Florida, anywhere around Central Florida, you already know who the fuck this guy is.
Do you listen to this podcast religiously? Have you seen me here before?
Come on.
Well, then you might be a regular of the Pocket Watch podcast.
Yes. Reoccurring guest. Welcome back, bro.
What up, man? Thank you for having me, man.
Bro, welcome back. Last time Kev was on, his butthole hurt because he was on these whack ass stools that we have.
Yeah. How you knew that? It's like you read my mind. I was like, damn, yo, my ass is aching.
Jacob,
I
knew that because Jacob.
Dude, I kept turning on my seat all the time. I was like, yo, my
Bro, you know what's funny?
too.
I sat in those stools once, and then after I sat in those stools, like 2 weeks later, we had a couch.
Yeah,
I don't know how y'all did it.
I guess bad. I had to get celebrity for y'all to get me a functional couch. I came back. I was like, yo, if the couch ain't right, nigga, I ain't coming back.
No, we got the guest chair for you, bro.
I love that.
Yo, but last time Kev came, we had a different setup. I love that we grew enough to respect. Pay some
my
respect.
celebrity.
Nah, because I like because it's like you're on our podcast and I want to put good shit out, and I think we put a good little layout for you. But also last time you came, we were talking about my first stand up, right? So and your part as a host, which is dope. Your fucking tire pop, like, bro. Our first episode was cursed.
Yeah.
The first
it was
time
rough.
we were supposed to record, I caught COVID and shit. We still recorded. Shout out to Zach risking his life for this podcast.
Life and limbs.
And then the following, Kev texted me, he's like, yo, my tires popped and shit. I'm like, damn, bro. Like,
I felt like I was ducking you. I felt like I was trying to avoid a bad bitch.
I felt so bad. I was like, yo, it's all good, bro. Like, damn, man. Like, that sucked. And he still pulled up. And then the conversations and the clips that we had, that was awesome. And then my man went to work, bro. I love it because you were hosting at Brews and Blues.
Yes.
Like, heavy.
Yeah.
And that was like an awesome work for you, awesome job or whatever, good promotions and stuff.
And then I lost it.
And then they closed down by the time.
Then they shut it down. It was like, oh, this nigga's thriving. Take it away from him. Take it away. Take it all away.
Sounds like typical St. Cloud.
Fuck 'em.
You know, they say when one door closes,
Yo, but it's like that minor setback.
Yeah. I wasn't losing no sleep over it. I was actually relieved at one point. It was like becoming a lot to produce a show and to cultivate the audience and to make sure that the comics felt like they wanted to come every week. Like, ultimately, I'm a comedian, bro. Like, so a lot of this stuff that is given to me, it's like, it's burdensome. Like, putting a show together, directing a show, making sure that you're promoting. I'm all of these things. I'm a director. I'm a marketer. I'm a promo guy now. And like at some point, and I still have to entertain too. I still have to put on the show. I still have to do the workouts.
Which you did great too, because I want to say, and I don't fucking know shit about nothing.
Yeah.
But
Co-signed up. Yeah, nothing at all.
bro, I was so fucking spoiled when you were the host, right? Because you were sprinkling shit,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, like, did you ever like work bits? Or like work like a little concept real quick in the middle of one. You couldn't
Yeah, of
once you were
course.
getting on a roll, but like
Yeah, so I open up. I usually do like 10 or 15 minutes in the beginning.
Right.
And then I bring a couple comics up. If the energy goes down, I'll work a bit. I'm fortunate that I know a little something about crowd work, so
Yep.
that goes a long way whenever you're resetting a room or getting the energy back up. A little crowd interaction joke here can change the momentum. I think that hosting is a really, really unique space, and there's a lot of responsibility in hosting a show, and it's an acquired talent. But I think that every comedian, if you want to learn to get good at comedy, you need to host your own show.
Yeah.
Because it will teach you. It teaches you about reading a room. It teaches you about pacing, timing. You learn how to work bits quickly because you have to get the next comic up.
Yep.
But you don't want to bring them up if somebody else just lulled the room.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it teaches
yeah.
you how to work bits faster and things like that.
And it's a great way to stay active. Like,
Oh, yeah.
even if you're not doing, like you do your first 5-10 minutes or whatever, get it warmed up, and then.
I love hosting right now. Like no cocky or bragging shit, but like a lot of comedians in the area ask me to host shows because they say that I'm one of the best in the city. I would never say that I'm the best host in the city.
That's the word
Why
on
not?
the streets.
Come on now.
That's just what the people
Word
are
on the
saying.
streets.
That's what the people are saying. No, but I really love it. I actually just tweeted this today. I was thinking about like why I enjoy hosting so much, or like why I do quote unquote good. It's because I'm a huge fan of Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
And Martin Lawrence is the best host that I've ever seen in my entire life. He used to host Def Comedy Jam. And Def Comedy Jam, all of the greatest have come through there. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac. But Martin would play with the crowd. He would talk to the celebrities in the room. He would roast them. Yo, this one time he was, MC Light's man was there. He's like a MTV producer or something. He was like, hey, yo, bro, in the front row, that's MC Light's man right there. And I used to fuck her. And I was like, yo, the boldness to say that in front, and this nigga is that nigga. He's the dude, like, he's MTV.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like, yo, I got to be that fearless, man. And I got to keep the crowd that entertained. If I could do a percentage of what Martin Lawrence is doing, then I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
So, bro, I literally watch highlights of Martin Lawrence before I go and do a show if I'm hosting. And I'm like, all right, that's that type of energy I need to bring tonight.
I like that, bro.
Thank
Because
you.
that's dope. Like, because and you're a comic anyways, but like a lot of people, you get the inspiration from comics or stand-up or whatever. And it's kind of cool that you saw inspiration through the host, which Martin Lawrence is like, everybody's going to look up to him. But still.
But nobody really, like, thinks of him in terms of a stand-up comedian. He's nobody's top 5.
No.
But he should be. He's, like, one of the best to do it. He's so funny. And Martin, the television show, is, like, one of my favorite sitcoms. I remember being a little kid and, like, quoting Martin in elementary school. But, yeah, Def Comedy Jam and the way that he hosted, I wanted to be a headliner. I wanted to be a feature. I wanted to be all these different things, but I knew that I could be a host. I always felt good about being a host.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Martin.
Yeah, see? That's
dope.
fucking dope. What sitcoms? Sitcoms are dead, right?
I think they still exist in some setting. I don't really keep up. I think the format is dead for it because a lot of people used to like wait on a Friday night, like TGI Friday, and they'd watch all the lineup with their family. But now because of streaming services, you just watch where you can.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still a lot of shows that are considered sitcoms. Like Modern Family was still winning Emmys and Emmys not too long ago.
But there's some type of nostalgic factor to Modern Family. Like, I think the closest we'll get to a sitcom these days might be like The Office or whatever, but it's still, it's not the same. Because part of what I think about sitcoms, and we can move on, right?
Like
say your
SNL?
piece. Yeah, but like SNL, because that's always existed, even when sitcoms were crazy or whatever. But I also think the quality of television has risen to a point where like that set, not just the setting of the way they put out the content, but the setting of like Martin wouldn't thrive today. He'd have to do something with higher quality, I feel like.
They would just adapt.
I don't know.
He
I
would have
think
adapted.
It wasn't too long ago that Gerard Carmichael put out the Carmichael Show, and that was old school sitcom style, and every episode was funny. It was a great show. 3 seasons of
So
just
I don't know
classic.
what the fuck I'm talking about. Never mind.
There's still plenty of sitcoms. I don't think I watch as many sitcoms right now just because I don't watch that much TV. So I really don't want to speak on something that I don't have
Facts.
enough expertise in. But I think they still thrive. I think they're still around.
So, boom, boom, boom. I just want to get back to that minor setback. You started changing shit up because you've always been putting out content. You've always been working, and the reason I know that is because I haven't even known you that long, and I knew you were working then. So to imagine like what you've been doing before that and shit, and then to see you at Blink is super cool. And like you work, bro.
Thank you.
So then, minor setback where it's like one of those consistent gigs just went away.
Yeah.
So
I
you started
I was getting paid for Brews and Blues. Brews and Blues was paying a young black kid.
Because you were doing
comedy.
Monday through Thursday, right?
I had a Monday. What was I doing? I think I was over there like 3 or 4 times in a month, bro. I had a dirty bingo show that I was doing. I was hosting an open mic, and I was doing a showcase with them. So they would
week.
Yeah, they would see me like every week, like once a week, every week.
Yeah.
For shows, and there would like just be different payment amounts just depending on what I was doing, and a food tab and a drink tab. So I was eating well.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Hell
it was crazy.
Do you think? All right. Did you losing that? Did you feel like you were switching it up then?
No, I never felt like I never depended on that money. I feel like comedy money is just kind of like extra. For me, is like I have a 9 to 5. I do that, and then whatever happens with comedy, I just really try to be responsible and put it to the side, so I could reinvest it in comedy and or try to actually see the fruits of my work. It's really cool looking in a bank account and being like, "Oh snap, that's what I made from comedy." Like this is
dope.
paying off. Yeah.
Bro, what do you do for your 9 to 5? I never
Comedy, right?
No. I have a daytime job. I work from home. I work from home for like some dope job place that they I sell software tech to churches actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long you been doing that for?
Not very long. I think like 6 months now. But
Oh, wow.
the culture is cool. They're laid back. They all know that I do comedy. They're supportive of it. And it's just like a really laid back, cool marketing and sales job. So
I think it's dope too because like I feel like as much as possible and like my freaking fiance kills me for it sometimes, but it's like if you're trying to do something, don't neglect doing the 9 to 5 to support that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, man, if we put everything into it, like you'll have more effort and time, but it's not sustainable if you're not trying to do like
A lot of times people just hate their 9 to 5, and so if
1,000%.
if you have a passion and then you have to go bust your ass at a 9 to 5, it could be really conflicting. That's not the case for me. Like this is not my dream job, but it's literally best case scenario. I roll out of bed, I'm right there. It's at home. There's not a micromanaging culture. Nobody's messaging me like, why are you not on? Why are you not doing things today?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing things. I'm taking care of stuff, and they're real supportive. So I'm like, there was a point of time where the money, like right now, is coming in well enough that I'm like, I don't really even know if I need a 9 to 5 anymore. But this job is so laid back and so conducive. I'm like, why would I leave this?
Right,
Why would I
yeah.
stop doing this?
and that's like the perfect situation, man.
And it's with the laptop. It's a situation where I'm like, oh, okay, I need to be a road comic. I need to start traveling. I'm still going to be doing shows at night. I take my laptop with me. I can still get work done during the day. So
Boom.
I was like, it's a hard job for me to really pass up.
Bro, for me, and it's interesting because like our podcast obviously hasn't created the support like you have now, right? But like also it's like I've considered like if I was all the way corporate and thinking about career 100% this and that, I might have made a couple different moves the past couple years.
Yeah.
Versus like what weighs on my mind now too is like I kind of like where I'm at because I can do extra shit for the podcast. Mm-hmm. Like to your point where it's like your job right now, like remote, like you could post some shit, you could do whatever you want and then work or whatever.
Yeah.
Like nobody, you don't have to manage nobody. You don't have nobody on your ass or nothing like that.
Do
Like
you guys have daytime jobs too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we got you a little bit, you know.
This podcast don't make
Podcast pays well, but you know, we got daytime jobs.
Well, they don't have 9 to 5s though.
Are y'all doing like entrepreneurship? Y'all like selling drugs or like what's going on?
A little bit of both. Not playing. No, but it's just entrepreneur.
Okay, cool. That's cool. You work for yourself.
Yeah.
Realtor. Oh, bro, I should have known, bro. You dress like every realtor that I've ever seen in my entire lifetime.
Come on a good day, all right, man?
Yeah, you look like you about to serve me little muffins or something, dog. You know the realtors, they always, would you like a cookie? Would you like a bottle of water? Yeah. No, I don't want your cookie, B.
That's me, bro.
But so what sparked, what got you, what sparked the idea to do some like Central Florida shit?
Yo, it's actually crazy. I just went on a really trash date in St. Cloud. I was mad after the date. All right, so people have asked me this before, and I never really broke it down.
Great. Let's go. Break that shit.
Do it.
All right, so I really want to just let you know like where my mind is at with this.
Preface it.
Because I've told the story, but I've told it very like broad, like very generically. Let me tell you what really happened. I went out with my boy, one of my best friends. Shout out to Mike E. Super cool dude. I had to pick him up from somewhere. We were in St. Cloud. Yeah. Eating at Chili's. And there was a girl that was there that I was like, she not the baddest, but she not the not baddest. So I'm like, let me shoot my shot a little bit. I'm flirting, doing a little back and forth. I do not like hitting on bartenders or people at work because like you have to be there. Like you have to put up with my shit. But she giving me rhythm. So I'm like, all right, bet. Look, this is my Instagram. If you're interested in hanging out, follow me. She was like, yeah, if I follow you, you follow me back. I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm kicking it to her for like a week on and off. Like, hey, let's hang out sometime. I really want to take you out. Boom, boom. One day she's like, yo, hey, I'm going to this bar in downtown St. Cloud. If you've ever been to St. Cloud, there's a lot of dive bars. Yeah. And they range, and it's weird because I grew up in St. Cloud, and I hang out at them all the time. But if you're not from St. Cloud, it feels very racist. Yeah. I promise you, it's not. Everybody is friendly. Everybody is nice. But once you walk in, everybody breaks their neck and it's like, who's this black guy that's walking in here?
That's him.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of old.
That's the 2%.
It's like a lot of old white people too. So
they got them Wranglers and them cowboy boots on.
Yeah. So if you're uninitiated, it feels uncomfortable. But I've been there long enough,
right?
She
was going there.
She was going there. Okay. And she's like, yo, I've already been drinking tonight. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling you. If you want to come through tonight, like, let's have some fun.
I'm already hard.
I'm there. I'm on my way. So I get in there, and the moment that I get in there, she's like dipping off. Like, I hate a girl with low attention span. Like, she oh, hey, thanks for coming. Then boom, goes to talk to somebody else. Then goes hug somebody else. Then it's like play fighting.
It's like, bitch, are you a promoter?
Yo, she's literally just talking to everybody, and she's like talking to people that I don't even like weird people.
You can't even like vibe with everybody.
Yeah, and I'm just there by myself, and I'm the only black person there.
You were there to get some.
I was there to kick it with her. I'm like, yo, we're on some daytime vibes.
But also, what she said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm sitting at the bar by myself, and she'll come over every like 10 minutes or so and be like, hey, do you want to get another drink?
Why?
Yeah, and on my tab too. So like we're doing drinks, she's taking a shot, and then she's like, okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. And then she'll be gone for like another 15 minutes, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But
it's like you're not even cute enough to be doing this shit right now.
You're hoping, right?
That's why I have to preface this because
I don't even like
you. I'm doing you a favor, but you can't say I'm doing you you can't never tell women I'm doing you a favor. Socially, I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
I'm a well put together guy. I have the freshest pair of J's on. And
I don't need to be here. I'm here for you.
I'm literally
you're being nice.
I'm the only black one here, man. Mixed color. Like, come on now.
I do stand up comedy. I'm about to be viral in 2 days from now, which you don't even know. I don't even know yet. But you're about to find out I'm a celebrity.
Oh. Yo, she made you, bro.
Yeah, I owe her everything. I should send her a thank you basket.
You actually should.
Yo, so anyway, she dips off a couple more times. Finally comes back. It's like, yo, I'm feeling you, blah, blah, blah. Cop the make out. I'm making out with her. I'm like, all right, we got rhythm. It's happening again. It's good.
Something.
Let's go. I'm like, yo, I love a girl who lives locally because your place or mine. Let's get back to it. Like sometimes when you're in Orlando, bro, it's too far. So it's like
we're both in St. Cloud. We're either in Kissimmee or St. Cloud.
Let's get to going. We're 10 minutes away from either one of our houses. So I'm in my mind, it's a clear open and shut case. Yeah. It's a win. So she comes back, and mind you, we've already made out at this point. 2 of her friends show up. I know both of the friends. I went to high school with both of them. They're being like kind of weird to me, like standoffish, and I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, I'm not understanding what this energy is about because I'm like friends with these people. And then I look around and she's like, hey, I'm going home with them. They want me to go home with them. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh, they cock blocked.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What?
She's like, I've been drinking too much. I'm just going to go home with them. And I was like, okay, no problem. And then I look at my tab and I'm like, damn, this is a pretty high tab for a random makeout and a girl who didn't pay me no mind all night.
Yeah.
So I unfollowed her. I just was like, you know what? This is annoying. Charge it to the game. Unfollowed her. I don't want to hang out with her no more.
Mr. 407 Kev was born.
She messaged me the next day. Yeah, this is my origin story. So she messages
I love
me.
this shit. Go ahead.
She's like, hey, apparently you didn't have a good time yesterday because I see you unfollowed me. I'm really sorry. I was too drunk.
She was worried.
Yeah, she was like, I guess I fucked up, so it's fine if you never talk to me again. And I was like, no harm, no foul, cool. But then I just didn't like the arrogance of that message. Like, the response bothered me. So I started thinking about every shitty date that I've ever been on. And I make content like that all the time. It's just like from a petty place.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to talk shit about her. I don't want to blast her. But I feel a way about this.
In general, and you're not alone.
In general, and I'm like, let me just make content. So I grabbed a couple of pictures from the internet, and I was like, this happens to me in downtown. This happens to me in Kissimmee. This happens to me in St. Cloud.
Yo.
I assumed it was just going to be for a group of, like, my friends that know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it started getting reshared everywhere on TikTok. People are just sharing it. And I'm like, that's weird. And then it was doing pretty well on Instagram. Like, it's got like 2,000 or 3,000 likes. And I'm like, that's weird. And then before I know it, everybody who knows me is like, yo, people are sending me this in group chats at work.
Yeah.
My sisters, my mom, my friends, everybody's like, yo, people keep sending me your videos. People keep sending me your videos. And I'm like, oh, snap, bro. Because I had already put in the comments, Poinciana, Winter Park are coming next. I had planned on doing a part 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I need to get this content out. I put out part 2. Part 2 did better than part 1. Bro, by the time I did part 10 and I'm talking about Maitland, I was like, yo, I'm a whore. I've dated in all of these places. And this is not just me making up experiences. Like, this is literally, this was exactly what happened to me when I was in Ocala. This is what happened to me when I was in Ocoee. And everybody's like, yes, this happened to me too. I relate to this. It's so surreal how, like, all of our life experiences are exactly the same. And how I could just sum every city up in these videos. I never thought in my brightest dreams that it was like something so local was going to take off so much.
Bro, but you are like the trophy whore, though. Because what's hilarious is they all do well, and it's like different people are relating in different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bro, and you confirmed all the rumors.
Yeah.
Bro, we asked Frankie, because I think that's your boy.
Shout out to Frankie Ryan.
Yo, Frankie's amazing, and we were talking about
Sorry about the light, bro.
Pocket Watch Podcast LLC. That's the But we asked him, like, yo, how the fuck does Kev know, like, all the intricacies of all these cities? Like, it's fucking spot on. Like,
bars.
Like, I only could relate to 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this motherfucker's making shit about me, like, everywhere.
Everywhere,
right?
yeah.
And then he was like, hey, I'm not going to. Kevin, you know, like, and then he was like, actually, I'm not even gonna say nothing. He left it there, and I knew exactly what the fuck. I was like,
I talk about this all the time. I talk to, like, girls that I'm dating about this because I think they're the only ones that can really understand because they get, like, the insight of my charm or character or whatever. It's so hard because women say that, like, oh, they wish that they can operate the way that men do. Like, men just get to be whores or sluts, and nobody judges us. Nobody thinks of us differently. And I offer pushback. Like, me as a man, yes, it's cool to be slutty. People will dap me up. Yeah, it's fun and games. But I can't tell people that I'm a slut. Like, I can't just brag about being a whore because now you're that pretentious, cocky guy who just brags that you get women.
Yep.
And I'm not that. So I'm like, I'll just let my reputation speak for itself.
You're just looking for the one.
Bro, I'm a romantic through and through. I just keep on trying to find the ones, and they just keep on leaving me with huge bar tabs in St. Cloud on these dates. No, bro, but for real, like, I want to say since I was probably like 15 years old, I've been in and out of, like, dating situations, bro. I was a fanatic for teen clubs back in the day. I used to go to teen clubs every single month.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like dance battling. I was like a stomp the
Bro,
yard.
I
You
could
got served.
see you doing that shit.
Bro, yo, I was in the middle of the circles. So I have two MOs. I would either be Chris Browning people with my hat, like doing flips and shit, or I would be in a corner with some girl dancing a reggaeton or bachata in a corner somewhere.
Yeah,
so there was only two modes for Kevin. And this is like 15, 16, right? Then I started going, like, I had a car now, so I started going to like city walk, movie dates, different stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then by the time I'm 21, I'm doing bar dates and restaurant dates, and I'm an alcohol connoisseur. I could talk to you about alcohol for days. And there's nothing a female loves more. There's nothing a woman loves. Apparently, women don't like being called females. I don't know.
Nah, tell the females how they feel.
Yeah. There's nothing a female loves more than a dude who's an expert in some shit. I love being like, I'm not going to order for you, but I can tell you what this place's specialty is. They make a mean old-fashioned. It's a wood-fire old-fashioned. They use the bourbons, the bitters. They muddle fresh oranges and fresh cherries. It's delicious. She's like, oh, my God. Yeah, I'll have one of those.
I just got wet.
What the fuck is that?
Or we start talking Merlots, and she's like, oh, God, this is a dude who knows about wines. That's a very niche thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm a connoisseur of whiskey, wine, vodka, all of these different things because I've been out on so many dates.
Yeah.
And it works. It works when it works.
Taking notes.
Yo, that's a good pickup line at a bar too.
Taking fucking
Yeah,
notes. Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't use it.
I was gonna say Jacob's over here like taking notes. I'm like, bitch, you're fucking engaged. What the fuck are you taking notes for,
You have to
bitch?
learn how to drink, bro.
No,
Use it for your
for
lady.
my son.
Yo, y'all need to you need to be constantly romancing your lady. Your
Exactly.
fiancé.
That's not what Jacob was getting
make her
at.
fall
And I
in
was
love
getting at
over
that.
and
Yeah,
over
yeah,
again.
He's
word.
wine. He's talking
Word.
about wine, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling my girl about the best lemonade. She don't drink.
Oh, I'm a lemonade sucker too,
Yeah.
bro. Come at me, Simply. Yo, Simply, if y'all are trying to do a cross promotion, let me know. I'm trying to get paid out here. What's up?
Do you want squishy, nice lemons? No, they'd be like, yo, Kev, we need our money back.
Yeah.
Hey, country time. If it don't work out between me and Simply, hit me up, yo.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bro,
All right.
so all right, so the shit started blowing up and stuff like that. It's like a perfect mix, a perfect hit, because like you said, you were going to teen clubs and shit since you were a jit, since
yeah.
you were a kid, bro.
I've just been dating for forever,
Well,
bro.
in dating.
And I always work in Orlando. Before like this work from home stuff, I would work in Orlando. So it's very hard to like meet girls in St. Cloud and Kissimmee.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of experience because a lot of times I would meet girls in downtown Orlando and they'd be like, oh, I live in Ocala. Oh, I live in Daytona. Oh,
Yeah.
I live in these places. So I'm like, and Tinder was a really big thing for me in
Yep.
my early 20s. I would go to all of these places, bro, and I would literally go out on dates all the time. One time I drove to Arcadia, Florida. Do you know where that's at?
Yes, I know where
Arcadia,
it's at.
Florida
It's
is
far.
like 3 hours away
It's fucking
west.
far.
And I drove to Arcadia, Florida for $80 and a hand job.
Bro.
Swear.
You were so
Swear.
Wait, you got $80?
Wait, so
I
you
got
got
$80.
You got
From the
paid?
girl?
You got
Yeah.
paid to get a hand job? Fucking
crazy true
goated.
story. Crazy true story.
Yo, that's amazing dick.
This girl.
Let me see it.
Right? Yo.
This girl who had a crush on me in middle school, I hadn't talked to her in years. She was a Facebook friend. Her mom was like religiously Catholic, and she found out that she had a secret boyfriend right after high school. This girl's like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
I'm 19 at the time.
Yeah.
All right.
She found out that she had been like sexting her boyfriend or something, and her mom, super Catholic, kicked her out of the house. It was like, no daughter of mine's gonna
Oh,
be
she's ready.
wildin'. Yeah. So this girl's
That's
got a
terrible.
yeah, it's terribly sad. And so it's actually gonna make me sound terribly how I took advantage of the situation.
Yo, look at that. All right, look at the. Look at this.
Yo, I'm 30 now. I've had a lot of time. Grown,
These are
things change, people
experiences.
change. I was 19 at this time.
It's all right. You were just talking about serenading.
Yeah.
Ain't that big.
She hits me up. She messages me on Facebook. It's like, yo, my mom just kicked me out of the house. I got a basket of clothes. I have nowhere to go. I have a boyfriend. He lives in Arcadia, but I don't have a way to get to his house. You're the only person I know that has a car. I'm about to pawn my necklace at a pawn shop. Whatever I get for it, I'll give you the money for gas. Will you drive me to Arcadia?
Oh my god. To her boyfriend?
To her boyfriend's house. This was not like she's trying to get with me. And
So the hand job wasn't off rip. It was
no. She
like
just needed a
off
ride.
rip.
She just
Okay,
needed a ride. But
cool.
in my mind, I had
Yes,
like
she did.
I had a terrible Nissan Maxima that had like super bad hydraulics.
This sounds like prostitution.
Let me get there.
I want to hear it.
Go.
So my car was really raggedy, and I didn't want to do it because I was like, I didn't trust the safety of the car. It was a long drive, and I had never driven that far by myself. So I told her no. I was like, yeah, I don't feel like my car is like good enough to make the commute. I can't do it. But I have this thing in life that whenever I don't want to do something, I just throw out the worst negotiation just to see if I could get it.
Yeah.
Like if I don't want to do your podcast, I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I mean, if you'll give me $1,000, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And if they meet that, if they say no, then cool, I didn't want to do it anyway. But if they did, I just got $1,000 for
That's
this
fucking
podcast.
smart. Hell yeah.
So I did the same thing. I was like, yeah, there's no way I could drive you out there unless I could, I don't know,
$80.
get some head. Maybe if I could get a blowjob
Yeah,
from
because
it.
she already offered the money. You're like, bitch, $80.
I was like,
Yo.
I'll take some head. I don't know.
To her boyfriend.
So she this is all on messages. She was like, let me check to see if it's okay with my boyfriend. I'll get back to you.
Whoa.
She said, let me ask. I'll be right back. Disappears for like 10 minutes, and she calls me. She's like, all right, my boyfriend said that I can't give you a blowjob. He doesn't feel comfortable with that. But how would you feel? Would you be okay with a hand job? And I was like, yeah, I think that will work for me.
So it was prostitution.
That's your boyfriend.
No, that was...
The fuck?
We went I didn't know how much I was going to get for the gold necklace. She pawned it. She got $80 for it. She was like, here, take it all. And then on the
So she
right,
got in your car knowing she's about to jack you up.
Yeah. She got in the car.
So when you pulled
halfway
up,
through, like an hour and a half in, she was just like, "All right, so are we doing this?" Because I
got
felt
bored.
bad. I was like, maybe I was just joking. Maybe I'll tell her I was just joking.
but you never told her.
But I never brought it up. I was like,
Like,
if
it
she
was
doesn't
never going to be weird.
yeah, like if she doesn't bring it up, I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna make this a deal breaker. I know she's in a tough
Yeah.
situation, so I'm like, all right,
She's about to give me a hand job.
You know?
she asked like halfway through. She's like, "So are you ever gonna take your dick?" I was like, "Yeah, I will." I was like,
control.
pull my panties down to the side.
Dude,
Yeah.
yo.
And then I get to her house, and her boyfriend's like, "Hey, you want to come inside?" And I'm like, "Sure." And it's like this white boy. His dad offers me like stew. His dad is like, "Yo, it's been a long drive. If you here, we cooked. Like, have some stew. Thank you so much for bringing her." He showed me his Yu-Gi-Oh. He showed me his Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh at
Wait,
that
her
point.
boyfriend showed you his Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah.
Wait, how old were you at
So-
this time?
I was 19.
So you show his girl your dick, and he showed you the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
So
That's
how
cool.
old was he?
I assume that he was like probably 18 or 19. He's probably the same age as us. Yeah.
No,
Bro, I can't even. I don't know what to say to
nah, but
this.
that
Sorry,
makes more
sorry,
sense
that's
because
terrible.
that guy, her boyfriend, was way more hornier than Kevin was. Kevin was like, "Yo, beat his dick."
He's like,
And matter of fact, ask him if he wants to come in. Is he a Yu-Gi-Oh fan?
Stu,
My dad just cooked.
Cater to this
Whatever
motherfucker,
gets
bro.
you in my bed tonight.
I never heard from her again. It was never an issue. I drove home. I just
So
laughed.
I just have to know, like now I'm wondering, did you just bust a nut in your lap, or did she?
She
Hey,
grabbed
yo,
it
you a
and
nasty
wiped it.
nigga for asking that. Yo, what's up with your mans, bro?
I just
What's up
wondered
with your mans?
because
What's
I
going on?
know when I'm on the road driving and we get into that situation, it's going in the mouth.
I didn't get that opportunity. We had some napkins.
Oh.
We had some napkins in the passenger.
I was gonna say,
But you a wild boy for asking. You know what? I would have wanted to know too, though.
I had to complete the story because
Yeah,
it was
did you
like
finish?
he didn't improve it, but did she just take advantage of it anyways?
It was kind of crazy because it can't be like an overly sexual moment because she has a boyfriend. She was talking shit while she was doing it.
I would have taken so long.
I was taking a while, and she was like, "Oh, let me like." She whipped her titties out. I was like, "Oh, this is cool. But I'm like,
Bonus.
I'm talking from a cocky place, like, "Oh yeah, like you like that? I know you always used to check me out in high school and stuff." And she was like, "No, my boyfriend's is bigger. My boyfriend's is bigger."
No way.
She's like talking shit while she's drunk, and for some reason that was doing it for me.
You're the type that wants to get stepped on.
Oh man,
Yo,
I was like, yo, this is kind of high. I'm not even mad at this.
you know, we
dog.
gotta experience shit once
Yeah.
in life at least.
I've had some wild
I'm
experiences.
the underdog, motherfucker.
Yo, that's dope.
Yo,
that sounds dope.
That's amazing.
Jacob's excited right now.
Yo, the experiences, man. Fucking
Bro, I've had some
experiences.
crazy experiences, but now I never thought that it would be able to translate into me making content about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh wow, this is what this all was for. My 20s, it was wild. I was safe. I didn't get any danger. I never had to I never got jumped by like a jealous boyfriend. I didn't have any crazy pregnancy scares. And now I have a platform and I do comedy and I can talk about these situations in a comical way. I'm not going to shit on the girl. I'm not going to put her business out there. I'm not going to say who it is, but I can talk about my experiences.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, it's been such a blessing, bro. It's like unlimited content fodder.
Yeah, man, because that is part of like being a content creator. Like some people, like I don't really understand some of the people that try to shut down when they're trying to create content. It's like, man, you need to like open up.
Yeah, go out there, live life, talk about yourself, talk about your experiences.
For comedy and like clips, like social media reels and stuff like that. Like you need experiences to know how to relate.
We're outside. Me and my boys are outside. We've done it all. We've been doing it all for a long time. It kind of felt like we were like wasting our lives away at one point. It was like, man, all we do is just like party and live and chill and like. But I never regretted it. I was like, man, I love people. I support people. I show up for people, and this is what I do for fun. This is me kicking back. So. Yeah. I've always been employed. I've always had a job. I've never like had to depend on anybody for anything. I was like, yo, this is my gift to myself. I'm spending money on Jordans and vodka. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. That is the blessing though of like your life mixed with your profession, because it's like a lot of people look back and do think they wasted life, right? But it's like actually you had some dope ass memories, but you don't necessarily recall or captivate those memories unless you're kind of putting out content.
Yeah, now I can archive it forever and I can cultivate and celebrate it in content and videos. Yeah. And it's also cool that these venues are like wanting to pay me to do it too. Like the coolest experience about all of these videos going viral and blowing up is that a lot of local businesses are looking at it like, yo, we want an opportunity to be highlighted in one of your videos. Or you don't know about our venue, you need to know about us. So come through. We're going to hook you up with VIP tonight. We're going to make sure that your food is taken care of, your drinks are taken care of. And all we want is if you would be so kind to shout us out. You can roast us. You can make fun of us. We're cool. But, yo, please, we love what you're doing.
And that is one of the most interesting parts and beneficial, cool parts about, like, what you did to go viral or catch the moment, catch the algorithm, whatever the case is because it's not just spread out over fucking China or
it's localized.
The whole country.
Yeah.
It is so local. And I'm sure you're getting a certain percentage of spread out or whatever. Yeah. But it's like if 80% of that is local, it's like people around us and near you, shit you can execute on. You know what I mean? Like
it's 85% Florida, and Florida's just a huge state, bro. Like South Florida is completely different from Central Florida, which is completely different from North Florida.
Yeah.
So it's like different audiences, but then the other 15% is like people that will message me from New York, like, "Hey, I don't know any of these cities, but I still love your content." It's just so funny. I've never heard of Kissimmee, but I love the fact that you talk about Puerto Ricans. I'm Puerto Rican.
Kev's putting Kissimmee on the map. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know these cities, but I know I'll never fucking move to Poinciana.
Yeah. I know the traffic is so bad.
Yeah. Like, yo, you fucking like the house was really cheap, but now I know why.
I had people from Canada, like Calgary, Canada, that were like, "Yo, we don't know what you're talking about, but your voice and your tone and your everything just sounds so funny. We cannot stop watching your videos. We watched all 23 of your dating in Central Florida videos. We've never been to Florida."
Oh my god,
What?
that's
crazy.
fucking awesome.
That's great though.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But it's so dope too that like you get to benefit from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like there's people that go viral and you kind of find out like they can't. They're having a hard time capitalizing.
You can't capitalize. You can't monetize from it. It's hard.
It's like you went viral in a bubble.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
I think
it's
just
like,
a lot of people just don't know what to do when they have that moment.
Facts.
I'm one of those people. I didn't know where to take it or what to do, but I was like, I need to do something. I know that there are people with 10,000 followers that literally don't work at all, and they just use their social media.
Really?
I have double that, and I need to be doing something with it.
Different.
I know that there needs to be something. worst case scenario, I'm just gonna go out on a lot more dates. I'm gonna use this and try to talk to more women.
More
but
content.
Best case scenario, I'm trying to get paid from this. I'm trying to use this to leverage to get into bigger clubs to do more comedy. Because ultimately, I am a stand-up comic, bro. I want to do comedy.
That's what I want to ask too. So like, super fucking awesome with your social media content, right? But also equally as awesome with the stand-up. So it's like, props to you, and we kind of talked about it on Morgan's episode a couple weeks ago or whatever, but where it's like understanding, like today's comics need to know social media, need to do this, need to do that. It's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they say that about fucking, like if you want to be like the top, politicians and shit, like, so, you know, like rappers. That's the one. Like musicians need to be kind of good at social media,
bro. Even realtors now. Every single realtor I know is like trying to make content and like being on TikTok. Bro, I have so many realtors that DM me and was like, "Yo, can you make content for me or make content with me? I need this type of stuff."
Facts.
And some people, like, the price has been right and they've been talking right numbers, and I'm like, I don't know anything about real estate, but if you want me to, I know about your area, I know about neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like, bring me to a listing and I'll make content about your video. What would be really cool is if there was a property you didn't mind shitting on, or a property that you could compare and contrast.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, do you want to live in a place like this? And then start showing nice properties and show places like that. That could really go off.
Facts.
Hey, that's free game right there.
Yeah.
Or-
So you gotta come with the
Or-
price
or-
and the idea.
Or like or like a really funny skit too. Yeah, funny skit.
Yo, I'll jack you off.
Hey, yo, I got a gold chain right here. I will go to a pawn shop right now.
All I
I
need
got
is a
$80
pawn
in a
shop
hand
and
job. You let me know what's up. I'm a realtor. I got you, bro. You let me know what's up.
I got y'all. I got you. Hey, yo, everybody got a price. I'll gay it up for the right price. You heard it here first, folks. Yo, I'm so straight, I don't even care about that, son. I know I love women, and for the right dollar amount, what's up?
Shit, man.
Damn, with that
Crazy.
said, what do you think about, because I had a little back and forth recently, and I feel like it was multiple times, because since that event, I've explained it to people, and I've gotten pushback too.
Okay.
And actually, I think we kind of talked about it on another podcast we were on. But what do you think about men and standards? And do you think men are dogs? Like, is it crazy to say if there's 3 guys standing and a girl walks by, what is the percentage that one of those guys says something sexually about the girl that walked by?
To her or to the other guys?
To the guys.
That's
Which
a high
changes that percentage, right?
That's a high percentage. I think that at least 2/3 might at least look at her ass, like,
Right.
as she walks
Quick,
by.
check the cleavage.
Yeah, and then there's also a percentage. It depends on what type of guys there are, because there are some dudes that will think it, and then there's some guys that are just open about it.
Right.
But I don't think that makes men dogs. I think it's the state of the culture that we're in. We're in such a hyper-sexualized culture where everything is like, and everybody just has to say something about everything. Social media has given us like this innate ability that everybody feels like they need to be sharing at all times, and sometimes we could just shut the fuck up. It'd be super dope. I was telling somebody yesterday, like, it doesn't come across well when a man says it to a woman, so I know that I shouldn't say it. But I was with this girl yesterday, and she was much younger than us, and she just kept on trying to talk about her perspective about life and like impart wisdom. And she's hanging out with like 30 and 40-year-olds. And a 35-year-old does not want to hear any wise shit from a 22-year-old.
No.
So I wanted to, and I did tell her, I was like, hey, grown-ups are talking. Adults are speaking. Shh.
Bro.
But it doesn't come across well. You shouldn't say that to women. That's wrong. I get that. What I think should happen is women should be saying that to other women. Like, hey. Speechlessness is a fine quality in a wife. Like, just don't talk so much. And the same thing for men. We should be checking each other too. Like, hey, bro, time and place. Shut the fuck up, bro. You could just honestly just shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But
Keep it in your brain, bro.
Yeah, no. But I do think that we have some dog-like qualities And
I don't mean like dog. I mean, I don't know. Like I just think like if girls think their guys aren't checking other girls out.
girls are checking other girls out.
Mentally, they better be.
Every time I hang out with a girl, she's like, "Oh, I'm more of a dude than guys are." I look at girls' asses all the time. It's like we just are naturally attracted to like
a figure.
Every time Cruz asks this question, he turns it down a notch. Every time he's asked this question,
he's goal moving. He's moving the goal.
Now it's just.
What are you really asking me? Because I'm like, what kind of wild ass question is this?
Now, the question now was, now whenever there's three guys staring around, what are the odds of them saying something? Before it was like. All guys, every time a girl walks by, they fuck him in their head. Like he literally says, men. Whenever girls walk by a group of men just imagine fucking the girls.
Fucking them.
I don't do that. I've never done that. I've never looked at a girl and was like, "Oh yeah, she would look crazy with my dick in her."
That's what I'm saying. And every time,
I do check every single girl that walks by, and it's so bad, bro. Like all y'all, if y'all have girls and they walk by me, I check them out, but my mind immediately goes, "That's my man's girl." That's where it ends. But I am checking her. I do check her out.
You gotta see. You
and
see what's
and a
going
part
on.
of me feels good when dudes check my girl out. Like, like I got a baddie. Keep a baddie on me. Like
it's just like a quick little.
Yeah.
I mean, think like there's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I'm not looking at your girl like, hey, I would toss her up, bro.
And that's what he's talking about.
That's the extreme. But that reaction only comes when somebody tells me their boyfriend does not look at other girls.
That's a lie that they tell us. Women are so delusional.
So I say
Can I talk about something on a podcast? Clip this up. Use this if you want. And I'm sorry, women, because I love y'all. I'm here for y'all. I'm a feminist.
Fact.
But there's a thing that women do, and they do it to other women, where they won't tell a girl, like no girl's going to tell another girl she's ugly. They're always like, no, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. And you, like, not even in your own way anymore. They're just like, no, you're perfect. And they all create this level of fantasy.
Support.
I love women and I support. And you don't. You hate that girl. You hate that girl and you don't think she's attractive. But women just do this thing where they're like, I'm only going to be honest to throw daggers at people. The only time I'm honest is when I'm throwing backward shade. Yeah. And any other time that I'm being honest, I'm being rude. And if other people are being honest, they're being rude.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can look at somebody and be like, yo, you're my boy, but nigga, you ugly, dog. Like, yo, you better make money in life, dog. You better have a good personality. Yo, I like you. I like you a lot.
I was a little kid, and Mateo, one of my best friend's big brothers had a friend that was a dickhead, right? And they were at least like 10 years older than us, so we were like...
What was it, Johnny?
Johnny. So we were like fucking...
What up, Johnny?
We were 11 years old or 10 years old, and these guys were like 17, 18, and he looked at me and he was like, yo, you lucky you got pretty eyes because I know you got a little dick.
Yeah, that's some predator creepy shit for an older dude to say that to you.
No, actually,
but it's also funny.
He was like, no, he didn't say little dick. He was like, I hope it's good that you got pretty eyes because I bet you still piss on your balls. And I was like,
how did he know?
I was like, nah, I tuck them before I piss.
Bro, it's so interesting because that's like, I don't want to say that men are funnier than women. There's plenty of funny women out there, but I think that men develop a sense of humor early on because they get roasted and they get tried and they have to be comfortable with themselves early. Cat Williams has an old bit, I think it's Cat, where he's like, yo, men find out about themselves quick, bro. Somebody at the age of 15 will be like, yo, you got a big ass nose, dog.
Right.
And you got to just learn to live with that. He's like, yes, I have a big ass nose. Cool. I'm moving on from that. I'm the dude with the big ass nose. Like a girl will have like a weird like fucking boil on her face, and nobody wants to acknowledge the boil. She never talks about it. They never talk about it. Like she doesn't have a boil. It's not even that big.
Sarah has a boil.
Yeah,
what?
No, it's a birthmark. It's just a little birthmark. It's not even that serious. Like, yo, no, bitch, that's an extra titty on your face. Yo, what are we talking about out here?
So you know what's funny about that is we had Morgan Gallo on the podcast, and we asked her.
Shout out to Morgan.
Yes, shout out. And we asked her about female comics.
How she doesn't like the word female.
And I know that. She made sure we knew, like, I don't like being separated, like, female comic or whatever. And we kind of had a little back of it. It was great. I loved it. But it was kind of just like, well, it's like, how many how many female comics do you see around? Because
Sure.
it is a thing. Like we talked about that, where like are
It's
guys
not,
on average
conducive for women in comedy. From what I hear, I can't
it
speak
takes
for most people.
certain woman.
But they just say no. It's just really hard because every guy on and off stage is trying to fuck that girl if she's like decently attractive. So it's a hostile work environment. From what I hear, all these comics are. And there are always going to be more established comics than you, so now they're leveraging their platform,
the penis
to get you on shows.
Exactly.
So a lot of times, from what I hear from these women, are like, "Yo, it's already hard enough to date. I have a boyfriend or whatever the case is, and then now these other comics are trying to fuck me. Or if I say no, then I'm afraid that I'm not going to get put on shows or that people are not going to fuck with me. It's a fucked up situation.
There's so many factors that contribute to why you just don't see that many stand-up female comics or women comics.
We do have some really great comics in the city. I do want to shout them out. Ash Cash is a super dope female comic.
Come on the podcast.
Yeah, come through. Allison Doolittle, Yerusa, Morgan Gallo, Danielle Mathis. We have, this is just Orlando, but we have a lot of great female talent in Orlando. Alina, there's so many.
And when I say this, let me clarify. Like, when I separate female comics, women comics, whatever the case is, I'm propping them up.
Yeah.
Because I don't, like, just in my mind, I'm trying to think of my fiance being a stand-up, and that's like, like, fuck no. Like, to stand in front of people, A, to, like, try to relate and say some funny shit, B, like, you don't meet that many funny girls either.
Yeah, I try to offer pushback on that. I'll be honest with you guys. I have to give a PC answer because of the comedian in me. The real dude in me is like, I don't really find female comics that funny. Some of them are hilarious. Wanda Sykes is one of my favorite comics of all time. She's
Whitney
funny.
Cummings.
Yeah, there's a
big one. Yeah,
there's so many. But the thing about comedy, and I hate saying any comic is not funny, male or female. That's not true. He's just not funny to you. Comedy is about relatability. And it's about shared experiences. So somebody who's going to talk about what it's like to live in Alaska is not going to resonate with me because I didn't live in Alaska.
They live in little Puerto Rico.
Yeah. What? If they talk about Puerto Rico, then I'll be like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, Biomone? Oh, yeah, that's my San Juan. That's my guy. That's my shit. But women are talking about things from their perspective, and I think it's such an easy thing for men to say, oh, you're not funny. No, bro, you just haven't lived her life experience. Other women are relating to what she's saying, and you should fucking open your ears and shut up a little bit more sometimes. Because we need to hear more female perspectives, and we need to understand what's going on. So,
and
relatability is everything, and I think sometimes I don't find females entertaining because I'm like, oh, I've never had to look in my purse for a tampon and I didn't have one. I didn't have that since And they talk about like sex from their experience, and then a lot of times what it happens is the same thing in rap where people are like, oh, all women do is talk about their pussy, or all women talk about is fucking. Dudes do the same exact shit, but because it's more palatable to you because it's relatable, you don't register that in your brain that we're all having the same conversations.
Yeah. And it's two things from that too, because it's one, like even if the woman perspective is captivating and needed and whatnot, to be able, the average woman to go on stage and then go through all the bullshit it takes to do like open mics and shit like
just
that.
To be a comic is hard.
That dwindles it down.
And now you're going to throw in sexual harassment on top of that, and other men trying to fuck you.
And it's not right.
Yeah, no,
by any means.
It's already hard enough to be a stand-up comic. It's so hard to face rejection night after night after night. Do open mics, be shitty, write material, find people, find a clan, find a group that you resonate with, find a joke that works. And then on top of that, now I have to deal with someone being like, hey, if you sleep over at my house next month, I'll put you on a show, and, whatever happens.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's a shit situation to be in. Fuck those guys. Any guys who are doing that, fuck you, bro.
Whiny.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of that shit. Also, I have fucked female comics. So I'm also contributing to the problem.
But you did it. So, hey, if you want a platform, we got you.
Essentially, I have not leveraged anything. I just want to be clear. I have not manipulated anybody. I have not used my platform to try to elevate anybody for sexual favors. But
no, you just give them car rides.
That was crazy. This was before comedy. I just want to let y'all know.
That's dope. All right, there we go. You got to put a disclaimer in there, bro.
Yeah,
But a lot of it too. Do you think there's more fans of comedy that are male? What do you think the percentage is for fans of comedy? Period.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I don't have like statistics in front of me, but I do like.
Why the fuck not?
Kevin. I do like male audience members more than I like female audience members. My biggest adversaries in comedy are like liberal white women or old white women too that show up to my show, because like women naturally just have like I think like a more nurturing personality. So I think that sometimes offensive humor resonates more with them, and they can't. I don't want to say all women. I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women like can't appreciate a joke for a joke. They're like, oh, it's not cool to talk about rape. It's not okay to make fun of cancer. It's not okay. It's not okay to talk about children in any context. And I'm like, I'm of the belief that if the joke is funny, talk about it. Say anything. Like it's cool, but I just. Women in the audience, sometimes you'll see them like priss up or like they'll just cross their arms like, you shouldn't be making those type of jokes. And I don't see that happen in my perspective as often with men.
Yeah.
That's because you're in Florida a lot too, though.
I mean, I'm sure. Like I just remember growing up, I have 2 sisters and no brothers, and I grew up, we all had one TV in my house, so we watched the same stuff. And I just remember being very young and understanding comedy, like at 5 or 6, like, okay, that's a setup, that's a punchline, that's funny because of this. And I'm 5 years old, and I'm graphing out Fresh Prince, or I'm graphing out Martin. And my sister Jennifer, who's 4 years older than me, she doesn't have that ability. She doesn't have that sense.
Yeah.
And when I was 13 or 14, I discovered the Chappelle Show, and it was the funniest thing in the world. Everybody loved Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
And I would still like, I love my sister, so I would want to bond with her. I'm like, hey, watch Chappelle Show with me. And she would watch it, and she's like, why is this funny? This is disgusting. This is terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm watching it, and I'm in stitches, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, fuck, don't couch. Nigga, fuck, don't couch. And I just realized very young, like, there are just certain things that are just, some women just don't resonate.
And we're talking about averages.
Yes.
Like, all of this. That's what
I've hung
gets
out
lost.
with women that love Chappelle Show. I dated a comedian that we would order Uber Eats and then just watch Chappelle Show. Like,
and that's what gets lost in some of these conversations is, bro, we're talking about averages.
Yeah.
Even like the guy comments that I say, like, we're talking about averages.
It's generalization.
If I was a betting man,
I just don't know any man that's never found Chappelle Show funny. I don't know one single man. If you're a man out there that didn't appreciate Chappelle Show, talk about it in the comments. There's nobody. Every dude loves Chappelle Show. Only some women love Chappelle.
Facts.
That's true.
Yeah. It's crazy to me.
And to some of your point too, like with the reason we had Morgan on the podcast was because I subscribed to her channel like months ago, and I didn't know she lived in Florida.
Yeah,
because I fucked with her bits.
Yeah, she's very funny.
And some of the girl bits, they relate to men too. Like she had one about, I just cut 8 inches off my hair, but it was a male salon guy, so it's probably more like 5 inches. You know, and I'm like, I lie to girls too.
Yeah.
Not Zach, but yeah,
Johnny was right about you. Johnny called it.
No, but like to that point too, just to close that shit up. Anyways, I want to.
Johnny had a big dick. That was Johnny Rocket.
Facts.
My bad.
Yeah,
no, I love it, bro. I want to talk about a couple things. How was it doing stand up at MegaCon? You've done it a couple.
Oh yeah,
times.
I saw that. That was dope as fuck.
You've done it a couple times.
I loved it, man. So for me with stand up, I can never really truly be myself because I have to gear my material to what my audience is gonna like, and people are always gonna tell you, "Oh, don't pander and don't do that."
That's stupid.
Yeah, be yourself. You have to do that because if I show up and I do all hip hop jokes and I talk about Meek Mill, Lil Yachty, Drake, and J. Cole at an all white room where they've never listened to hip hop, none of those. It could be the funniest jokes in the world. None of those things are gonna resonate.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly having to change my perspective and my material based on the rooms around me. And more often than not, the people who pay for shows are older white people, ages probably 35 to 50, white, married couples.
Right.
So my material has to relate to them in order for me to keep getting booked. MegaCon was a great experience because I'm a nerd. I'm a blurred, is what they call it, a black nerd.
Yep.
in so many senses
Why
of
you
the
gotta
word.
be a black nerd?
Yeah. They just try to put me in all the boxes. Bro, I'm a nerd through and through. Like, I could talk your ear about Disney. I could talk your ear off about Marvel, DC, Dragon Ball Z,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Bro, I was top 16 in the city of Orlando for like 4 years.
What-
in
what-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
There's probably like 16 players.
Wait,
in
what
Orlando,
kind of deck did you have?
Oh, bro, I had multiple decks, bro. I ran I'm most known for a Lightsworn deck. I have a killer Lightsworn deck.
What is
Did you have the whole
Lightsworn?
system though? Did you have the whole?
No.
No, what
We're
kind of
I'm
cards?
I'm past like the Blue Eyes phase, the Exodia phase. So I'm talking to you at like a higher level.
Okay, all right.
So this deck is, bro.
Give me
I don't-
three. Give me like 2 cards because I fuck with Yu-Gi-Oh too.
I mean, there was like staples that everybody knows about, like Monster Reborn and Mystical Space Typhoon, Dark Hole, things like that. But the archetype for Lightsworns are these specific. They're like light angel type monsters. They're all of the cards. They all look like different. Angels.
No.
I guess I would describe them.
I asked that because like the most I've got into it, and we're about to blurt out right now. But the most
Cruz, you can't blurt out.
I know, come on, man. No, but the most I got into it, I loved like how like you could have like a dragon deck, a magician deck, and then when you kind of mix them a little bit, they had that blue eyes black magician. Like he was riding the blue eyes.
Dark Sage Magician.
Dark Sage Magician. That's the one. Ooh, Yu-Gi-Oh was the shit, bro. Pokemon don't got
That's
shit on
fucking
Yu-Gi-Oh.
amazing.
Yo,
Pokemon don't got shit on Yu-Gi-Oh.
Bro,
Tell
there's
me.
a huge
whole different
fan base
category.
for it. There's a huge fan base for Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon.
But as a specialist,
Oh my gosh,
what do you say? Yu-Gi-Oh versus Pokemon?
Pokemon's way bigger.
That's what I'm saying. Like
No,
Pokemon's
but
way
what do you
bigger.
like
Game
more?
Boy, come on now.
Are we talking card game?
Yeah, like if
Yu-Gi-Oh is the best card game of all time, but Pokemon is a better video game.
Video
So
Yes.
I mean,
Pokemon never had a fucking
no card game because Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yo,
Yu-Gi-Oh is a card game.
It's
Yu-Gi-Oh
seriously.
is, I think the
I mean, it's got a cartoon. It's got some stupid shit.
yeah.
But
I didn't even watch. I did watch like the first 2 or 3 seasons when I was little, but I played Yu-Gi-Oh as an adult. I think I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh at like 20.
Yeah.
And I actually still have my decks in the car. I keep a deck on me just in case somebody like want to talk shit. I know the ins and outs. I was a judge at
That's
tournaments. Like I know the rules. I know the technicalities.
Can I see your deck?
Yeah. I got it right here. Just take a peek at it. So, this is a blue eyes white dragon right here.
That's the Black Sage magic.
Yo, I just have 2 friends that we did everything competitively together. We played Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3 for like a summer nonstop. We played Mortal Kombat. And then one day I whipped out a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards from when I was like in 4th grade. And my other boy was like, oh, yo, I still have my Yu-Gi-Oh cards from when I was a kid too. Yeah. And my other boy was like, oh, I never played Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, like, I didn't have them. And we played all day that day with just the cards that I had. He went on eBay and found a guy who was selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he paid like $200 to get like 10,000 cards.
Ooh.
And so the game was on. It got competitive.
Yo, when you got money and you're nerding out,
Bro,
that's the funnest shit ever.
We were servers with no kids and nothing to spend our money on. So we just had all this excess money. So what happened was the war started. Everybody started reaching out to people on Facebook like, hey, if you have any old Yu-Gi-Oh cards that you're not using anymore, can I have them? Can I see them? We were reaching out to every single person that we knew. At one point, our collections were like, we had millions of cards. We had every card that you could ever think of. And we were playing each other back and forth for hours.
He was fucking nice.
Yo, shout out to my boy Jens. His girl thought he was cheating on her. Yo, bro.
Yo, not playing Yu-Gi-Oh. No worries.
Yo, we linked up at 7 o'clock to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and we got lost in the sauce so much. We got so competitive. We'd have fights. We'd have arguments. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. We're still playing, and she's been calling him. He's been ignoring his phone for 5 hours. She lived in Lakeland. We lived in St. Cloud. She drove from Lakeland in the middle of the night to show up at his house to catch him in bed with another girl.
That's an hour and 20-minute drive.
And then she catches her at the table with Kevin.
Yo, she came through. Actually, I'm actually telling the story wrong. She moved to Lakeland later. She was in New Jersey, bro. She lived in New Jersey. She caught a plane. I swear to God on everything.
She flew down here.
She flew. She
Well,
caught a
5
flight.
hours, no text back.
Yo, she caught a flight. I think this might have been 2 different times because she lived in Lakeland at one point. But she parked her car way out in the distance and just rang the doorbell. And we were like, yo, who's ringing our doorbell at 3 in the morning? And we go out and we look outside. There's nobody there, but I see in the car in the distance, and I'm gonna say her name because she's a crazy bitch. I was like, "Yo, is that Leanne's car? That's Leanne's car."
That sounds like such a hard car move.
Yo, and then she popped out like, "Yo, who are you fucking?" And we're like, "Yo, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. All we're doing is playing Yu-Gi-Oh." We looked at his phone. He had like 143 missed calls, 38 text messages, 15 voicemails, and like, we just laughed our asses because that's how serious about Yu-Gi-Oh we were, bro. So
he was like defense mode. He was like,
straight up, we would get into fights, bro. Like, yo, that card doesn't have priority. It doesn't work like that. You can't do that, bro. It's like, I think I can. And then you're like trying to look it up on the internet. You're calling other people like, hey, what is the priority for main phase 1 if he activates a trap card? Like and on top of this is all still while I'm out bagging bitches. Like, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh Monday through Wednesday and going out with hoes Thursday and Friday, bro. And it was so crazy.
Yo, I love that shit because it's like, bro, that's the definition. Sometimes I think about it for different people, right? Like myself, like you, like I love that shit where it's like, yo, you see the blueprint of what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. Like,
you put me in a box.
That's the definition of doing you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm always going to be my authentic self. And I full circle, I bring that up to say that MegaCon, I was able to do that. I was able to be that person because there are so many different fandoms at MegaCon. And it was finally a place where I could make a Dragon Ball Z joke and everybody's going to know what I'm talking about. It's like being in a room full of people that understand the inside joke.
Yes. Did you think of... And then,
do you watch anime too or no?
I watch a little bit of anime, but I would never consider myself like an anime authority. I would consider myself the authority on Dragon Ball Z. I could answer maybe any question that you have about DBZ specifically. I dip into Super and GT and Dragon Ball a little bit, but DBZ, I'm an expert.
See, and it's two things. Like what you talked about at first, like one of the main keys to a good presentation, like they teach that shit in business school, is know your audience.
Yeah.
So like to your point of like not pandering or whatever, stupid. Did you like think of certain content or whatever for that?
I probably should have thought about it more. I'm a person that procrastinates, and I'm like, I feel very comfortable with my act.
Yeah.
But this was it was the Geeks of Comedy showcase, and they were like, just do whatever you want to do, but if you also have geeky or nerdy material it's preferred. So I wrote a couple of jokes beforehand, but honestly, I do my best work just looking in an audience and talking. Like I think that people resonate more when they think the joke is off the top of the head. But it's never off the top of the head for me. I'm just watching you the whole time waiting to go up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I see a Loki couple. They got the Loki costumes on, and I'm like, yo, wouldn't it be? It'd be so cool to fuck
some shit.
Yeah, it'd be so cool to fuck your variant, the same version of you. Blah blah blah. Then I see a Naruto guy. I'm making Naruto jokes. I made a Dragon Ball Z joke about Super Saiyan gods, and I'm like. Comparing it to Jesus.
You got a clip on that too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's fucking great, bro.
Yeah, bro. So it was just the ability to finally talk to my people, bro. Like a lot of people don't understand that about me. Like, yes, I'm a comic and I'm a drinker and I'm a this and I'm a hoe and I'm a that, but I'm also a fucking nerd, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I love that nerd shit.
Yeah, it's authentic.
I feel like there's a lot of like nerd types that are comics, but I don't know about like that type of nerd. You know what I mean? Like the Dragon Ball Z.
More black nerds?
No. I'm talking about like there's like that nerd type, right?
Yeah, there's just like a lot of like recluses in comedy. They're just like standoffish or awkward, but they're not like, maybe they are nerdy, but they're just like, maybe they won't talk about it, or I don't know, maybe some of them are comfortable talking, I don't know, but I don't see that many people who are cool but also nerds too, like doing it out there, and I think that exists. Like,
it's starting to become like more of like a popular trend style thing, especially with the anime stuff. It's like all the
and the Marvel movies. It's cool to watch Marvel now.
And like now, like all the rappers and shit like that. Now it's becoming like a trend to be like into anime, and shit like that.
Back in high
Shout
school,
out
it was
to
popular.
Adesanya. Like you talk about like being in like that shit in your blood or in your second nature. Imagine being in a cage fighting for your life, and you still can't help to do some anime like Naruto type shit, right before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this motherfucker would knock somebody out and then go straight to
Who was that? That was fucking.
That's Adesanya, bro.
Right? Yeah.
I'm just saying, like that's
dope too.
That's in him. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's a nerd that's kicking motherfuckers ass in the cage. You know what I mean?
I did martial arts growing up, and there was a couple of times in high school that like people would want to fight. And I'd be like, hey, no rules, right? And they're like, what are you, gay? What do you mean, rules? No, of course, no rules. And then I just get in my stance and just start kicking the shit out of people, bro. Like, my front snap kick was nothing to play with once upon a time. Yo, one time this dude wanted to fight me, and I kicked him 3 times in the spleen, bro. This dude was, like, throwing up blood. And I was just like, yo, Kamehameha, dog. Like, what's up, bro? I do this for the people of Earth.
Yo, that's always something that was weird to me. Like in high school, like people always like thought there was a certain way to fight. And it's like, no, motherfucker.
Why?
Like,
where did that standard come from? Where we all had to put our fist up and fight the same way? We can only fight with hands.
You know, that's why I like
fight,
about
bro.
UFC's getting more prominent, where it's kind of like letting people know, like, nah, like there's better ways to do this shit. Because I remember watching a fight before, and one dude, there was definitely a mismatch. But one dude was piecing him up a little bit, but the other dude just scooped him, dropped him.
That's why I don't fight no more.
But
Like,
like,
I don't got no ground game, and if you grapple me, you take me to the floor, I'm apologizing. Hey, bro, I'm so sorry. I don't know why we're beefing. I'm sorry.
No.
Bro, I don't do jujitsu. I do not have no grapple game. I do not know what to do if you get me in a hold on the ground. If you got me on the ground, you win.
Facts.
You win, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Scared. No, but, all right. I want to get to another thing.
My bad, bro. I just stepped on the J's.
Yo, good, baby. I like that.
My man's a Jordan dude too.
Yeah, man. I feel like I have imposter syndrome because I never was growing up, but now I have all of this like residual money that's coming in, and I'm like, well, when I was a kid, I wanted these.
That's
Power
what I wanted.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted these Power Ranger toys, and I couldn't afford them, so I'm going to get them as an adult. When I was a kid, I wanted the Jordan Chicago ones. I wanted all the kids in school had like 4s, and I was like, yo, those are tough. It would be cool if I had them. The fucked up part about it is that I wasn't poor growing up. My parents had money. They were just Caribbean, and they were just like, we're not spending $300 on sneakers. Like, we'll spend $300. We'll spend $300 on dinner, but we're like, they just did not see the value in it, so it just wasn't me.
Yeah.
So now that I have all of this extra money, I just keep on buying sneakers and shit, and I feel like a fake sneakerhead because it's new to me.
Fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
We had a sneaker reseller on the podcast. You should link up with him.
He's already got one of the dopest ones.
I got a couple of sneaker resellers. Yeah, they're hooking me up. They're showing me love.
Give me your sets real quick.
Yeah,
bro, it's all good.
But
my sneaker game is nothing to play with, y'all.
I want to talk about another thing.
Sure.
When I first met you at Brews and Blues, like the fact that was the first time I met you shows the type of person. But you were kind of like, yeah, man, like I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like like I'm not getting really. I can't support myself off comedy, but that's the goal. Like I think I could get there in a little bit or whatever. We talked to Morgan about like comedy money, right? And she definitely, and I feel like that's what's known. It's like it's not good money. Like if you're doing it for money, like good luck kind of thing. Like you gotta love it, you gotta want it, whatever the case is. And then she was, and I. This is the general thought too, and I probably agree with it. Where it's like really, it's like only those that hit that upper echelon are the ones that are getting money doing comedy.
Yeah,
right. So,
maybe.
But and I asked and I argued because even for this podcast, like I don't want to be famous, right? But like, there's this podcast also let me realize, like, those that live in that middle ground are doing well, like fucking well.
Yeah, that's what I guess that was my pushback. Like, I think that fame is super intrusive. I do want to be famous. I like the idea of people knowing who I am. Ever since that these videos started popping off, people will just come up to me at restaurants and be like, hey, I don't want to interrupt your meal. I just want to let you know I love your content.
Yo!
And I be out with bitches when it happens. It's so dope.
I know you love it.
Yeah. I'm a fuck tonight.
Bro, I be out everywhere. Yo, and people come to the shows more often as a fact. They come up to me afterwards and they want to talk to me. It's really rewarding. But I know the other end of it is like I'm never going to have any privacy the more famous I get.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like it's a trade-off.
Your thing is weird as fuck too, right? Because there's people that reach like hit what you're doing, right? But then like we just talked about, it's all spread out. So and that's where I'm talking about like that middle ground. But for you, it's like times 10.
It's centralized, yeah.
It's very centralized. So you are getting those encounters.
Yeah, it's like it happens at least once a day now. Anywhere that I go, like somebody will be like, hey, you're the guy. But it's from multiple different platforms too, so it's weird. So some people know me from TikTok, some people know me from Instagram, some people know me from stand-up.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, yo, I love your content. And I'm like, oh, cool. But nobody's been weird yet. One girl asked me to sign her titty in the Milk District, that was great.
That's dope.
so
Shit.
dope.
Yeah, it was great. And then they messaged me the next day like, "Hey, anytime you want to sign," I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like, yeah. But now that it's happening more often, I'm less impressed by it. But I say all that to say, like, so I think there is a middle ground. Right. I think a lot of people think that you're either an open mic comic or you're Kevin Hart, and there's nothing in between. But there are so many people that tour, that do shows, that get paid and live off of comedy that you never have heard of, that you don't know who their names are, and they've been doing it for a long time. I meet with guys regularly. I open for guys that, like Larry Reeb. I did a show with him last week at Porky's. I've never heard of him. He doesn't do content on the internet. A lot of these older comics don't know how to do social media, but he's been touring, been doing comedy for 40 years, and he gets paid. He's never had a job in his real life. He just gets paid doing comedy. Bought his own house doing comedy. Wow. All of these things. And like... Shit. And he doesn't even have the following that I have, and he's able to build this. So, like, I am just so excited for my future because how much more I would love to get to the point where I would help these old comics. Like, hey, I know social media is intimidating for you. I know you don't really understand how it works. Let me help you with that.
Because you're doing great already.
And you help me with how to make this profitable for the rest of my life.
Right.
You show me how to email bookers or what to say to get put on shows, or you bring me to shows with you so I can do what you're doing and we can help each other grow.
Yeah.
That would be a really great...
Yeah, because, like, that's one thing that people forget when they talk about, like, putting people on or helping people out, stuff like that, is, like, it's so much better when you got something else to offer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's easy to ask for a favor, but when you don't have anything, it's hard to leverage it. But now I have a lot of leverage, in my opinion, and I'll be honest, I'm just ignorant. I don't know about this is all the first time for me. And I think everybody's too afraid to admit that, like, they have to act like they have it all together. I've never been this successful before. I've never had this level. I wasn't expecting to have this. So now I'm like, I need help. I need people who understand this more than me. I need people who have been here before. I need people who are a team that are like, okay, yeah, no, we're going to put a media kit together for you. We're going to put a press kit. We're going to reach out to bookers. We're going to get you on more podcasts for more exposure.
Right.
We're going to do all these things. And you're going to help us because you have a huge platform and we're seen with you. We're affiliated with you. We're a team.
Yeah.
Bro, I need that. And I wouldn't feel any pride about helping you help me and vice versa.
And if you ask me, man, like, people that think that... So, like, you could do what you're doing. Like, you did what you were doing. You took it... It's at another level right now. It's doing great. You could keep doing that if you want, right?
There's so many more levels to get to.
If you want to get to those other levels, man, like, you need help a little bit.
You got to ask for help. I've gotten this far by myself, and I can't even say by myself because... Thank y'all so much for supporting. Anytime you repost a video or share a video on your story, you don't even know what that does for me. It's everything. I always say support is free. If you feel like that's generic or like I'm just saying that, no. Like I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you every single time that happens. But I do. I'm one of those people that I've never been afraid to ask for help. I don't have like a prideful bone in my body. I'm the type of person before a podcast like, yo, how are you guys doing those captions? What are you guys doing? Can you send me this? Can I send you something? Like, I ask for what you're doing, what's going on, and I don't have no problem telling you what I'm doing too. There's no secrets or gatekeeping back here. But to the point of what I was saying is I think a lot of times when people are dealing with help, they they always think about the new people, like how can I help the next generation? But there's a lot of people from the old school that also need help too, that like they have so much wisdom to impart. So like there's something to be said there. And somebody else, another comic who's more established than me, Chris Robinson, he's got a podcast too. Shout out to Chris. He put that in my head like, yo, we can help the older generation and the older generation can help us.
I love that.
So, yeah, no, it's definitely been something that's been on top of mind for me.
Yeah, man, you're ignorant to think that somebody doesn't have something, right? Like, not everybody has something to offer, but, like, you're ignorant to think nobody does.
The thing is, everybody is valuable, and if we just start using people for their resources and talents and what they're good at, then we can all get to the money, and there's enough for everybody to eat. And it can be conducive, but like I just think that if you don't ask, like, closed mouths don't get fed. So like we just need to be figuring out what we need to be figuring out.
Facts.
That's 1,000%,
That's
bro.
100%.
That's
a clip right there.
Yeah, it's less than 1,000%. Jacob.
Shit.
Jacob tried to correct me with a lesser number.
It's 100%.
That's 100%.
It's
bro.
900 less than what you're saying.
99.9.
Nah, bro. But on that note, man, like I feel like no doubt, man. I love the success you're seeing, and
Fuck yeah.
and the way, like, when it's earned like that, you just know it's gonna go to the next
Authentic.
level. And then this type of conversation is like, man, I can't wait to see what's next for you, man. But yeah, bro. Thank you for coming. Thank you for everybody that's listening, new listeners. Fuck with us, subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, follow whatever platform you're listening or watching on.
When's this coming out?
2 weeks.
No, 3.
So
Not this Monday, not next Monday, but the Monday after.
Follow me on all platforms, Mr. 407 Kevin. Check my story daily to see where I'm going to be at. I have shows almost every weekend, if not every week. Please pull up to a show. Tell me that you saw me from this, and come say hi. Take a picture of me. I'm not a diva yet, so come talk to me while I'm still humble.
It's a great follow. It's good content. It's right. Active stories. You get to see where the fuck he's at. It's good shows. Like, man, like working.
So it should drop May 1st.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I got shows. I got
Yeah.
Geeks of Comedy, The Roast of Darth Vader at the Orlando Improv May 4th. That's going to be super dope. We're doing a stand-up show at the Improv where we're all coming up in costumes. I'm going to be Lando Calrissian. Shout out to the Blurds out there.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans. And then I have shows all throughout May. I'm going to be in Winter Haven at the Laugh Out Lounge.
Winter Haven, you said?
Yeah,
that
Winter Haven, I think May 11th and 12th. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But watch my story. There's a bunch of stuff coming
And
up.
as always, guys, his links to his stuff will be down in the description below. Like always, guys, go ahead and show him some love. And yeah, definitely give us some likes and shares for that. We do appreciate you guys once again.
Love
and
you.
I wanted to let you guys know that we do also, by now we should have our donations live. So if you guys want to go ahead and donate to the cause and donate to the podcast, check the description down below. We should have a link for you guys to go ahead and donate to
First come,
donate
first
to the movement.
serve. We got a lot of shit to give away. You sign up, we give out.
Yeah, exactly.
10
Yeah.
cents to a lot of hungry kids.
Yeah, so if you guys go ahead and subscribe now and donate now, we're gonna have some other stuff in the future. So people who start donating now, whenever we do have like subscriptions dropping, we're going ahead and we're not going to forget about you guys donating like before. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys some love. We're not quite sure what we're gonna do, but we're definitely gonna do something for you guys. So go ahead and check the description down below, like always.
1,000% or 100%. Sorry, bro.
900 less percent.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
I love
Thank you, man.
Pocket watch out.
Pocket watch out.